Hey friend, welcome back to the Word with Wit. In today's video, I am going to be giving you all an update on how my life has been going since I left my job as a nurse to pursue God. So if you're new to the channel, there is a video where I share my testimony on how I left my job, why, and all the things. So I will link that here so that you can watch it. But today I'm just going to be giving an update on how that's going, what's happened since then, what I've learned, and what I'm looking forward to in the next season, what I believe God is doing to push me forward. Since I left my job, I have learned to trust God on a whole new level. Not in the ways that I would have chosen to learn to trust Him, but nevertheless, I have learned to trust Him. It started with me really having to sacrifice my stability where I found comfort and to step out of my comfort zone. I know a lot of people say this all the time, but God does not work in our comfort. He pushes us to be better, to continue to grow, to continue to learn who we are through Him. So listen. This has been a wild and crazy journey. If I'm being honest with you, I had a breakdown the other day. I hadn't had one in a while, but it is really hard, like, to give up what you're used to doing. It's hard to give up your stability. It's hard to give up what you felt called to do at one point and follow what God is doing, especially whenever He gives you step by step and not the full vision, or He may give you the final vision but not the steps to get there. So that's kind of what happened with me. He showed me all of these things and I was like, okay, yeah, I'll quit my job if it means I'm gonna be doing this, this, and this. But what this season has looked like for me is honestly just getting to know Him, being with Him, being in His presence, spending a lot more time with Him, learning His character, learning who I am in Him, and a lot of refinement has been going on. So I realized during this season I have had a lot of idols and I've had to lay them down one by one. So I'm one of those weird people that actually prayed and asked God to refine me, and I'm just, if I'm being honest, I'm kind of a rip the band-aid off kind of person. Let me go through what I need to go through because I don't want to linger in seasons longer than I need to be. And yeah, I kind of at times regret praying those type of prayers because I'm like, what was I thinking? I'm not strong enough for this. I can't get through this. But the great news is God is with me. So, you know, He's in the fire with me. Yes, I'm going through the fire. Yes, I'm being refined. Yes, I'm being changed, but He's here with me. And a few days ago, I had a breakdown because it felt like everything was just, I was just drowning. And I am pretty good at keeping my eyes on God and not looking at the wind and the waves because I've been through so many trials during this season that it's really helped me to keep my eyes on God and to focus. But I am still human and I do still give into my flesh sometimes. I do still see what's happening around me, and I know that I'm supposed to walk by faith and not by sight, but sometimes the things that are in my sight are so close it's hard not to look at them. So with that being said, I believe it was Saturday night, I was just at my wit's end. I was like, God, I know you're here with me. I know you said that you were going to do these things. I know you were Jehovah Jireh. I know all of this, but I just don't see how you're going to do this. I had bills that were due the next day. I had past due bills, just everything, y'all, like everything. I felt like it's been 9 months now. I thought that I would have a stable income by now, and I thought I would be used to that by now. I thought something would happen, you know, maybe my YouTube channel would grow, or my business would grow, or my group, my Bible study group would become something more. I didn't know what was going to happen. I thought even maybe He would send me on a job doing something that I'm not used to doing, you know, in a new field, whatever. I wasn't sure exactly what He was going to do, but I just knew that it wasn't going to be this. And I just knew that I would not be in this season this long. However, God is telling me that I need to remain still and trust Him. And even whenever I've tried to apply for jobs, I always surrender it to Him. And that is something that I've learned during this season, is to surrender everything, to lay everything that I want, all my desires, all my ambitions, all of those things at His feet, and let Him show me what to do and let Him direct me on the next step that I should take. So I had to, you know, I applied for these jobs and then I went and laid it down. I said, God, I'm taking a step in faith by applying for this job, but if it is not your will for me to have it, block it. And he blocked it, like Matumbe blocked it, but you know, he blocked it nevertheless, and I do trust him. So I know every time, you know, when those opportunities don't turn out to be anything, I know that I am supposed to keep going and keep pursuing him and keep doing the last thing that he told me, which was to focus on my YouTube channel. So that's what I've been doing and trying to be more consistent with that as well. But it is hard, y'all. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I got blessed. I don't think I've shared this shit on my channel, but everything, as I mentioned in one of my videos previously, everything that I needed for this YouTube channel, I have absolutely gotten for free. Someone has been willing to invest, and you know, they would buy this or buy that. So piece by piece, God has blessed me with everything that I need to do the YouTube channel. Recently, I got a new camera, the one that I had my eyes on, and it's amazing how it turned out. Like, I knew that I wanted a camera, but I didn't have the money for a camera. Obviously, I'm not working. I'm just trying to survive out here. But I prayed, you know, that I would be able to get a camera, and something told me just to do my research on the cameras. Again, I didn't have the money, and it's similar to what I had done with the sound panels that I have. I just prayed that God would, you know, provide it for me, and I just did my research on the camera so that I knew which one that I wanted, so that I knew which one to pray for and all the things. Well, I ended up getting the camera maybe a few weeks after I had found one, and someone was like, hey, you know, would you be okay with me blessing you with that? And I'm like, are you serious? Like, I really was almost in tears because, wow, like, you know, it's $800 and something, and I know that's not a lot for many people, but when you don't have a job and you're talking about spending that much money on a camera for a channel that you're not making money off of, it sounds crazy. But God, like I said, God told me to focus on my channel, and he's provided everything that I need to do that. I don't have all this extra spending money. I don't have all this extra stuff, but the stuff that I need, everything that I need for what he has told me to do, he has provided. So that just gives me faith, and it encourages me to keep going. But again, I had a breakdown the other day, and it was simply because I just felt like I was drowning. I felt like my channel wasn't growing. I felt like I had so much to pay, and the kids needed stuff, and Christmas is coming up, and if you know me, you know I'm not big on Christmas. I do, of course, you know, spend time with family, and I, you know, talk to the kids about giving and about Jesus and his birth and all of that, but I don't believe that Jesus was born on Christmas, even though we celebrated that day. And I do know that there are pagan ideas behind Christmas and all of this. So yeah, I'm not real big on it. I try to make it a special day for my kids so they don't feel left out in the world, but we don't place a lot of emphasis on buying a whole bunch of gifts and all that. So I was okay with not being able to buy a whole bunch of gifts, but I still wanted to make this time special and, you know, be able to do stuff with my kids and spend a lot of time, you know, with my family and things like that. But the way everything was looking, I was like, I couldn't even get my oil changed. I'm like, God, look, this is a struggle. Like, how am I supposed to keep going? How am I supposed to take the kids places when I'm paying a car note? And if I keep driving like this, my car is not going to be running properly, and I'm going to cause further damage, or, you know, I'm not taking care of it. So I'm like, God, I can't even get an oil change. I can't even pay this bill, that bill, whatever. Like, you said you were here with me. And I mean, like I said, I had to pray. So I did just that. And I even asked for my girls in the Bible study group prep. I was like, can y'all please pray for me, because I'm just overwhelmed. And y'all, when I tell you, within a few hours, God blessed me with every bit of money that I needed to get my car note paid, my car insurance paid, my light bill, everything that I needed, God provided. And it was just amazing to me, because sometimes we can think, well, I don't know about y'all, but I know me, like, I can beat myself up. I can feel like I shouldn't, be sad. I shouldn't get discouraged. I try to keep a smile on my face. I try to remain at peace at all times. But in reality, sometimes you have to have those honest moments with God. Like you can say things with your mouth, and of course you want to speak life, but you still have to be honest with God. You can't hide your feelings from God. And that's really what I had to learn. I had to lay down those feelings so that God could show me the truth, so that he could work through it, so that pretty much I could call out to him. Sometimes I have to ask him. Sometimes I have to pray about these things. And like the last few months, I've just been like, I know it's tight, but I know you got me, God. I know you got me, God. I know you got me, God. But at some point, just trying to stuff all that deep down came to a boiling point, and then I was just crying all day long. So yeah, it's better to go ahead and just be like, God, this is what's going on. I am afraid, I'm worried, but I do trust you. Can you help me? Can you help me to have more faith? Can you help me to trust in you? So praying that prayer just gave me peace. And then God still provided for me. So like I said, within a few hours, y'all, I had everything that I needed. So it wasn't like God wasn't going to come through, but it took me being humble and saying, I need prayers, I need help, I need whatever for everything to start moving and go into place. I couldn't just sit here and just say, oh, it's gonna be okay, just trying to mask my feelings, knowing that's not what I felt inside. So it always takes me back to Peter. Whenever he walked out on water, he started looking at the wind and the waves, and that's when he began to sink. And I was looking at the wind and the waves, and that's when I began to sink. But when I called out to Jesus, he was faithful to give me his hand and pull me back out. So that's really what happened. And I needed that. I needed that reminder to surrender those problems and lay them at his feet and trust that he's going to work it out. Also in this season, I've had to let go of a lot of different things, a lot of habits. Before I left my job, I was eating out all the time. I was spending money unnecessarily, and I am very frugal, y'all. Like, I do not like spending a lot of money, especially on clothes and material things. I shop discounts and sales and all that, but it still was unnecessary spending. So this season has really taught me to steward over my money better. It's taught me to steward over my time better, although I am still learning on that one. I'm getting better at it and being able to be more self-disciplined, even though I may not feel like recording a video. I may not feel like doing Bible study. I may not feel like spending time with God. It can be so tempting when you don't have anyone over you telling you to do this and do that, to just rest and to just lay there and just to watch TV all day or scroll all day or whatever. So in this season, it's really taught me to be more disciplined in my time management and just my life in general. And it's also given me the opportunity to spend time with the people who mean the most to me. In the previous years, I have been burnt out. So when it came time for holidays and things like that, I would just be stressed. And I really didn't care about spending time with family. I wanted to use that time to rest and lay in bed. But this last 9 months, I've actually been able to enjoy my family more, enjoy my friends more, be there for them, be there for my children especially, and to disciple them and just teach them. So that's been a blessing as well. So although it has been really difficult to walk through life in this season, although there have been many trials, I truly look forward to this next season because I feel like God has shown me that I can do this, that I can do all things through him who strengthens me, and that he's got my back. He's shown me this, and I'm just looking forward to going into the next season because I have faith that I'm ready and that he has prepared me enough. And so I'm just looking forward to what he's going to do next and how things are going to go. And I know it's going to come with its own challenges, but we already know how it goes. Whenever you gain more, you have more responsibility. So it doesn't necessarily mean life's going to be easier. It just means you have a new set of challenges, or the challenges got more difficult. And I feel like I'm ready for that because in this season I've been prepared for it. I truly believe that God is aligning things for me and just in the kingdom for a lot of us who have been going through the fire during this season. I feel like God has been aligning things for us, and we are just about to move into a season of open doors, of blessings, and I just can't wait to see it all come into fruition. I had to let go of so much, and I know that if God is telling me to let go, it's because he has something more for me, something different, something better. So I'm just looking forward to that. And although it sucked letting go, you know, it was hurtful, I've cried, I've done all the things, but I can finally be at the place where I'm at peace, where I'm like, God, I know that if you said no on that it's for a good reason, and it's for the best. So I'm trusting you in it. So anyhow, if God is calling you to take a leap of faith, just trust him. He will provide for you. He will take care of you, and he will walk with you in it. So you will not be alone, and just trust him. There are going to be many people that think you're crazy. There are going to be many people that try to cast out, and but what are you going to do, and how is this going to work, and blah, blah, blah. And you don't have all the answers, and that's okay. I've learned in this season to value my privacy and just go to God with things instead of trusting myself, or instead of looking to other people. I've learned who to give limited information because they can't handle everything and they don't understand it, and they will just speak doubt. So just trust God if he's calling you to this, and believe that he's going to get you through it. So anyhow, I love you guys. I hope this has blessed you, and I will see you soon.